join us in the holding grid for the second race in the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship with MRF Tyres. The cars are getting ready to go out onto the grid, where Waite and Coqueville may well resume their battle from earlier in the day. It's going to be tough, it's going to be an exciting race. It's over to Jake Sanson to take you through the grid.
It's Fiesta Juniors, Lloyd. Of course it's exciting. It's always been exciting in this championship. One of the most exciting junior categories of motorsport in the country. James Waite and Magnus Cricklewy on the front row from Ollie Turner and Josh Steed. Todd Garner and Alfie Glennie on that third row from Abbey Locke, Nathaniel Hodgkiss and Isaac Smith. Now Hodgkiss and Smith, the two Jam Sport cars in particular, will be ones to watch from the start, because they'll obviously have to go off the back of the grid having retired from the first race. This second and final race of the weekend is their last chance to score big points. 5-second board goes up. Who's going to get the victory this time? Is it going to be Waite or is it going to be Cricklewy? It was handed to Waite despite the fact that Cricklewy came across the line in first. Let's see what happens. It's a cracking start from Isaac Smith. Nathaniel Hodgkiss hasn't got a bad one either, but James Waite gets the initial launch and has got past Cricklewy, and Josh Steed has swept round the outside of his mate Ollie Turner into third position, and in fifth place that is Isaac Smith. So already the battle is joined, as Hodgkiss and Garner are having a good scrap there with Alfie Glennie, and Abbey Locke is in the mix as well. So as they go into Dean Hairpin for the first time, Josh Steed, contact as Isaac Smith gets into his teammate Ollie Turner, and there is contact between the two of them. Now that looks like somebody pulling off already. I think that's Hodgkiss again. So Hodgkiss, clearly they've done repairs to that car after a little nudge with Ollie Turner in race one, and the problems are back. So that is Nathaniel Hodgkiss. There he is, parked up. It's an absolute write-off of a weekend for poor Nathaniel Hodgkiss. Meanwhile, the battle for third position begins between Josh Steed and Isaac Smith, with Ollie Turner in fifth position. So poor Ollie Turner, he's being run into by Jam Sport teammates left, right and centre. He had a nudge in race one from Hodgkiss. Now he gets a nudge in race two from Isaac Smith, who is all over the back of Josh Steed. Can he make it round the outside of Grace Lance? No, he can't. But still, brave recovery drive this already from Isaac Smith, who is up into fourth position on this first lap. And he's going to sweep by Josh Steed. He has done so. Beautiful exit off of Grace Lance. He carried the speed better. We're on board with Josh Steed. The Mutation Motorsport car is side by side with the Jam Sport machine of Isaac Smith, who's going to cut back across and hold on to that third place. Good run from Isaac. And there's not a lot that Josh Steed can do about it, except hope that his good buddy Ollie Turner is not going to come through. Look at how much curb is used there by Isaac Smith. Two wheels on the deck, two in the air, as he bounces over the curbs and gets onto the home straight once again. So here is that charge once more from James Waite and Magnus Cricklewy as they go through the first corner. Now, where is Hodgkiss's car parked? It's on the inside of the Dean Hairpin green now, so that could potentially be another safety car. I've not heard anything as yet, but obviously they've got to judge the situation based on where the car is. There it is, in fact. So that is Hodgkiss's car stationary. Now, if they can't get a vehicle out to move it without impeding the race, then obviously that is going to be a safety car call. But Magnus Cricklewy is still right in there with James Waite. So in this first couple of laps of the race, Magnus Cricklewy, the Dane, is trying to get on terms with the 17 of James Waite, who has just taken his third win of the season after his double-header victory at Brands Hatch, and then being handed the victory due to a penalty for Magnus Cricklewy for gaining a position with avoidable body contact, ABC as it's known. Basically, he slots into second place and is still there for the moment. James Waite still running in the lead here in the Fiesta Juniors. And as things currently stand, there is no need for a safety car, certainly no call for it at the moment. Isaac Smith in third position, having fought his way through, and Magnus Cricklewy dives on the inside of James Waite into Tarzan. That's the move he tried to pull off earlier. That's the overtaking move. And James Waite is going to come straight back at him. They go side by side down the school straight. Magnus Cricklewy on the inside, James Waite on the outside. Waite is slightly in front until they get to the braking zone. Then Cricklewy gets back on the power, out through the S's. Beautifully done. Very good racing between the two of them. James Waite in particular, really strong on the retaliation. But Magnus Cricklewy has got himself back into the lead here at Rockingham. So he led race one, of course, but the time penalty meant he had to concede the victory to James Waite. But this time, he's going to have a straight-out fight with James Waite. Waite has got a fantastic run, but watch Cricklewy. He's going to basically nail the car to the inside apex. That's going to send James Waite to the right-hand side, and nobody's going to be able to make that move on the outside of the hairpin in these cars. Good effort from James Waite, and again still hustling Magnus Skruglowy in the hope that he gets him to make a mistake. But with Skruglowy already having got through, if he can just do the same sort of pace he showed in this morning's race, then it's definitely going to be easy pickings for Magnus Skruglowy to make it his third win of the season in what he will feel should be his fourth if he gets the job done in race 2, because obviously he won race 1 on the road, and that would have been his third race victory of the season. But that went to his rival and fellow three-time race winner this weekend. I'm getting ahead of myself. Grand Prix one day, no doubt between these guys. James Waite, I mentioned, in second place as he charges in behind Magnus Skruglowy. So these two will continue their battle. But this time, if Skruglowy gets the victory, I think it's fair to say that this one will be fair and square. But what it will mean as well is that they're all square for victories again, these two. And they'll have 2 wins apiece in what has been a very interesting first 3 weekends of the championship. Now there's Isaac Smith in 3rd position, Josh Steed and Ollie Turner still there together in 4th and 5th, so some good points on the board. I suppose is probably going to be the saving grace line from those drivers in behind, in particular I think for the man in 4th place, Josh Steed, who on paper had just as good an opportunity to get on the podium of race 1 as Ollie Turner. He had a great little battle, and Ollie came out on top that day. Here comes that battle further back. This is an interesting one for the drivers as they come through. This is Josh Steed and Ollie Turner, 4th and 5th position, in behind Isaac Smith. But Ollie Turner knows Josh Steed's tricks, and Josh Steed knows all Ollie Turner's tricks. He moves across to the inside line. Josh Steed is going to move to cover. He's going to slide up the inside, though, still Ollie Turner. And that's a good move. So Ollie Turner got into Josh Steed's head there, and Josh Steed overshooting by a couple of metres at the braking zone, but that's enough, and it gets the car locked up. So now Josh Steed is going to get back on terms with Ollie Turner. Where's the move going to come? Surely he's not going to dive up the inside of Chapman. Well, Ollie Turner turns it a little bit wider, but still hits the apex on the way through. Up towards Piff Paff. Left, right. Car looks still pretty balanced. Not exactly sure where there would be an issue to finish the move. I guess it's just over exuberance to get him down the order once again, but he's here in 4th position, trying to make his way through, waving to Ollie Turner. Come on, let's work together and go catch Isaac Smith as they battle for 4th place. Do you think Ollie Turner could see you from there? Josh, that would be quite an amazing bet if he can, but he's still working hard to push away from the drivers behind nonetheless. Ollie Turner and Josh Steed absolutely together outside the cars. They're barely separable in the paddock, and very good chums, but out on the racetrack, what do they say? After the gates, no mates. It's an old saying, but it still rings true in 2018 motorsport, as still this battle for 4th place rages between Ollie Turner and Josh Steed, who've already had a pretty exciting battle in race 1, on which occasion it was Turner who finished 3rd to Steed in 4th. As we go into lap 5 of 11, it's looking likely that Turner will be 4th and Steed will be 5th because of the comeback drive of Isaac Smith, who's there in 3rd position. So let's see how that continues as they go down towards Dean Hairpin once again. Good braking required for this one. Ollie Turner now braking about the same sort of place on the circuit in terms of the meter boards as Josh Steed. You can kind of tell when the drivers are in a good flow because the car just seems to roll with them symbiotically. And the drivers are obviously doing a very good job at this moment in time to keep things flowing. So a lot of hard work to come from these guys as Josh Steed is working very hard to keep Ollie Turner in check. But Turner just seems to have gone out like a cannon, like a cannonball out of a cannon, has launched away. And it's there in 4th position. Steed is trying to stay with him, but Ollie looks fairly planted at the moment. He did say 2018 is a season I can feel strong. I really want to reward the Jam Sport team for all the hard work they've given me. And this is a lovely young guy, is Ollie Turner. He came to the sport, of course, at the very end of 2016 as a new driver into the car racing scene. Had been short ovals before that in the world of jazz car, and had even been a championship runner-up in the discipline. Such was his talents. He was given a very nice surprise at the Kart Mania Festival back in 2016, I think it was, where the entire team were basically promoting the car, And there was a very nice moment when the championship coordinator and the media and marketing executive Scott Woodwis basically set up Ollie Turner and said, would you like to drive one of these cars one day? He said yes, and they said, well, you get to drive this one, because his dad had gone and bought it for him. It was a very lovely fairy tale moment, and great to see how his career has developed over the last 18 months and is still developing. There's another one worth talking about though, Isaac Smith, the youngster who is in his first season in the Fiesta Junior Championship, and without a shadow of a doubt, other than Magnus Krickleby, is proving to be the best of the rookies on the grid at the moment. Having led the championship coming into this weekend, he was so cruelly robbed of a chance to grab another podium this weekend after the championship leader he was, and then of course on the grid for the first race. He ended up having a mechanical problem, and that is what has kept him at bay. So a really exciting battle. And Isaac Smith trying to get himself back into the action as he drops down once again into Gracelands. He will go. And I have to say to Isaac Smith, he's been very, very strong and very positive all the way through the weekend, despite the difficulties he's had. Qualifying didn't go his way. Didn't even start the race in race one and has had to fight back ever since. So this was always going to be a tough mountain to climb for Isaac Smith, but he hasn't whinged about it. He hasn't stopped. He hasn't thrown his toys out of the pram. He's just got on with it. And he's very well aware of the fact of what he has to do, but he's just getting on with it. He's just doing exactly what you should do in this situation, which is build up the speed, keep it going, and see what happens at the end of it. There's Magnus Krickleby. No major penalties coming his way this time, and it looks as though he's going to be able to keep this victory. 5 laps to go here at Rockingham as you blast out away from the pit wall through turn 1, flat on the throttle. Magnus Krickleby, I don't know if there's any greater joy than leading a race around Rockingham through that first corner, because you're flat on the throttle. The circuit is banked at that point of the circuit, because obviously it becomes the oval and now becomes the roval, which is the word, of course, that NASCAR has just coined this year for their Charlotte Motorsport complex. Well, here at Rockingham, it's been happening that way for over a decade, combining the first corner and the main straight of the oval with the infield section. So I wonder if we get any royalties for that over at Rockingham. I certainly should. They coined the idea first, really. There's Magnus Krickleby, the young Danish superstar, taking the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship by force if he has to. Little mistake in race 1 from his point of view to get the lead, but I think he understands why the penalty was handed out, and certainly doesn't appear again to be losing his rag over it. He's been very calm and composed all weekend, all season actually. And he just appears to be another one of this fantastic group of Scandinavian drivers that are coming through to really set themselves up on a route to the top. There's James Waite in second. Managed to beat his rival in the first race, but not on the road. Actually did it in the briefing room, the steward's office, afterwards. So a bit of a problem there, effectively, for Magnus Krickleby. Well, they added the penalty pretty quickly. So we were able to tell that obviously it was a infringement of the rules. But Magnus Krickleby coming out of the final turn, and now with just 4 laps to go, time is ticking on aplenty. And to be fair to the young Denmark racer, he has been absolutely superb through this second race of the weekend. We're on board with Josh Steed as the CIDT V-Pass car starts to get after Ollie Turner once again. This is for 4th place. So in terms of the team battle, it's a really interesting one. We've got race car consultants in the lead from Jam Sport, Mutation Motorsport. That's the way it is in the top 5 at the moment, as Josh Steed tries desperately to keep in touch with his main opposition this weekend, it seems, Ollie Turner. Certainly in the latter stages of races, these two have been very good at being close to each other out on track, and even more fun and games to be had off it as well. These two doing a grand job, Josh Steed and Ollie Turner. I'm never ever going to forget that moment when Ollie Turner got his first podium in the championship at Snetterton last year, and the first one from the field to really be there to congratulate him for the moment was Josh Steed. And there's a fantastic picture, which I'm fairly sure is on both of their racing driver websites or profiles, of the friendship and the brotherhood between these two. You've got to put these guys in the same team one day, because I genuinely think that with these two drivers as teammates, everything will just flow from there. They get on so well. Now, there's a yellow flag out on the run to Gracelands. So somebody has gone off on the run to grey stands. I'm not entirely sure who, but the yellow flags are out. Oh, there's a spin. That is Glennie. That is Alfie Glennie in the Daniels car. He's taken a hit to the front end of the car. And on lap 9 of 11. Now, are we going to get a post-race safety car, or a very close end to the race safety car at least? Or is Alfie Glennie's car in a position where it doesn't have to be moved? Now, this is going to be an interesting one because the yellow flags are out. So safety car. So there is a very good chance that this race is going to end under safety car. We've got 3 laps to go, including this one. Now, are we going to get a 1-lap sprint at the end of the race? Because that could really change things. So the tempo of this race has been completely transformed, courtesy, unfortunately, of Alfie Glennie's car going into the barriers and playing pinball. So Isaac Smith is now right on the back of these 3. But look, the Rockingham team is already moving his car. They basically just needed that few seconds of extra duration to be able to move his car effectively, quickly. And the field is going to allow, the course car, I was just going to say, is going to allow the rescue truck some room and overtakes it up the inside. So Magnus Cricklewy is your race leader. Second, James Waite. Third is Isaac Smith from Ollie Turner and Josh Steed. Then I do believe it is Todd Garner. And then it should be Abbey Locke. So a very exciting end to this race in prospect. Are we going to get a 1-lap sprint or a 2-lap sprint? Because actually they've moved the car off the racing line pretty quickly. And we're approaching the score straight. I think the lights are out on the safety car now. Yes, lights out on the safety car. So we're going to get a 2-lap sprint. Just when we were getting settled into a rhythm, the Fiesta Juniors decide, okay, we're going to spice up the last 2 laps for you. So they're going to bring out they've brought out the safety car. They've only had it out there for a lap, but the race is going to get going again. Yeah, it is going to be restarted. Now, the big difficulty there is that all of the drivers are going to be in the mix, except for Abbey Locke, who's dropped back, unfortunately, and is not going to be able to catch up to the queue. So any chance she might have had of the top 6 this weekend has now been well and truly compromised. And now James Waite is on the throttle, trying to get close to Magnus Cricklewy, who I have to say, that's a pretty darn good restart, my friend. And as he crosses the line, he will have just 2 laps to go under green flag conditions. So through the first turn, no problems at all. Even though this circuit is known for being quite a punisher on the brakes, on the engines, and in particular as well on the suspensions, these guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job, and they're really getting to grasps with these cars on this particular circuit. Still a long way to go in the Fiesta Junior Championship, of course, and these drivers will know that they can't afford to take any of those opportunities to win races for granted. So there's Ollie Turner and Josh Steed getting at the back end out sideways, and that might have been his best chance to close up and pass Ollie Turner for 4th position on this first lap when everything is still getting back up to temperature again. But unfortunately, that's not something he can control. Now, speaking of control, Magnus Cricklewy now has to stop these 2 guys coming through. They are teammates, James Waite and Isaac Smith. And obviously, both of those drivers are in the hunt for the championship as well. So it's not even like James Waite can turn to his buddy in the same morning, Isaac Smith, and say, well, do you know what, mate? We need to work together on this. Let's try and get some pace. They do to a certain degree, but when these 2 are the guys battling for position, you really think they're going to share that much data? I'm not entirely sure they would. So James Waite is still there in 2nd place. Hanging on to the job in 3rd position is Isaac Smith, in front of Ollie Turner, Josh Steed, Todd Garner and Abbey Locke. So Magnus Cricklewy is about to start his final lap. Isaac Smith is all over his teammate. Now, the question will be, is Isaac Smith going to be able to get through? Because, of course, his consistency from the first 2 rounds did mean he was leading the championship coming into Rockingham, but whether he can finish it that way is a completely different matter. Last lap, and look at the gap that Magnus Cricklewy has been able to pull out on his close rival in this race and in this championship as well. An absolutely amazing run here in front of James Waite, but it is a good performance indeed from Magnus Cricklewy. He's got a little bit of time, he just needs to keep it all together right at the very end. But this is all absolutely brilliant for our race leader, who has not really broken a sweat since he made that move on the inside of James Waite. and has now gone up into the lead and has basically, despite a couple of incidents around the circuit, despite a safety car, Magnus Quickly has not really eased up in terms of pace at all. He's still very hungry for a victory. He's still quite aggressive in every apex. He really likes to attack the circuit he's driving, and it certainly seems to be the fastest way. Race car consultants and their man David Elsley, of course, have been keeping close tabs on this guy, and he definitely seems to have a bright future, not just in British motorsport, but in world motorsport in general. He just needs to keep plugging away. Drivers at this level, they're aged only between 14 and 17, don't forget the Fiesta Junior drivers, so every decision you make has the potential to make or break a career, depending on what you do with it. There is Isaac Smith, charging after James Waite, but I think he's going to run out of time, unfortunately. That victory is going to go to the Dane, Magnus Quickly, who moved over here at the tail end of last year. And now Magnus is looking for a championship in 2018. It could be possible, and he's staying very tight-lipped about it. But out of the final turn, this time Magnus Quickly is going to win on the road and keep it. And that means it is 3 apiece in the Fiesta Junior Championship. 3 wins for Waite, and now as he comes across the line, 3 wins too for the Danish racer at the top of the standings. Magnus Quickly. It's going to be a very interesting battle between these two. So Quickly takes the win and keeps it this time on the road. James Waite in second from Isaac Smith, Ollie Turner, Josh Steed and Todd Garner, with Abbey Locke finishing up 7th ahead of Glennie and Hodgkiss are retirements. Victory,
and there was no doubt this time, was there?
No, it was much cleaner and much better to get it this way, so it felt really, really good. The car was well prepared by race car consultants.
That's 3 wins out of the last 4 races. Is this you starting to mount a championship challenge?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a tough year with James, but it's going to be a good year as well.
We look forward to seeing you next time out. Congratulations.
Thanks.
James, a tough race for you, but congratulations on your 2nd place.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank my sponsors again. BRSCC Tyres, Jamsport, both done a fantastic job of getting me here this weekend, so you can't thank them enough. With the race, it's not quite where we wanted to be, but considering how our car was after Cadwell, I can't really be complaining.
No, that's true, but you've come away this weekend with a victory. Looking ahead, is there more to come?
There's definitely more to come. Now we've got better setup on the car, and the car's there or thereabouts. We should be on for another podium or possibly a win next round.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Isaac, congratulations on 3rd place. It helps you in the championship, and I'm sure is something that you're pleased with, particularly after this morning's performance.
Yeah, this morning drive shaft stopped on the start, so couldn't do anything in there. Yesterday, the gearbox mount snapped and missed the full practice session.
So a good result from what's been a tiring weekend. Looking forward to the next race. Are you hoping to be bouncing back and fighting for victories?
Yeah, should be up at the top next time, next net. Weekend.
Look forward to seeing you there. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Abby, congratulations on winning Driver of the Meeting. You must be really thrilled. I can see by the look on your face that you're really thrilled with this.
It's so surreal. I just wanted to thank team, Hangar 111, sponsors, everything. It's been amazing today.
And how does that feel that you've been recognised as being an improved driver throughout the course of the weekend?
Brilliant. I wasn't expecting to be here saying all of this right now. I mean, trying my best all weekend and, you know, just getting in some good lap times was my only, you know, goal today. So.
Well, you've done that. Congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing you next time out.
Thank you very much. Thank you.